This is Brian enjoying a classy martini.
I like the sauce.
And this is Brian enjoying a far less classy binging session in the basement. Like owner, like dog, I guess. But how bad exactly is Brian's addiction to alcohol? And is it anywhere near as unhinged as Peter's? Well, today I'm gonna count exactly how much booze this drunken doggy has chugged to find out. By the end, I'll show you how this mutt went from a cocktail criminal to a full-on martini maniac to wrecked enough to win a golden ticket to rehab. Starting with the episode, Christmas Crime. It's Christmas time in Quahog, and Ebenezer Pooch has been thrown out of the house for ruining the holiday spirit.
Do you really not see that you're crassly manifesting the very consumerism on which Christmas is built? Chris, can you please put the dog out?
Yes, sir!
Thank you, Chris.
A little violence won't stop Brian from speaking his mind, though, so he goes to the annual tree lighting ceremony just to verbally dunk on the new nativity scene at City Hall.
Oh, great. Just what we need. Can't believe this is what my tax dollars are paying for.
Last I heard, you never paid taxes in your life.
Nobody shares Brian's views about Christmas, and when his ego's been wounded, he always turns to booze, but that just makes him piss even more people off.
You know, you guys know what this holiday is all about, right? It's all about this.
The world's smallest violin?
A scrotal massage?
We're more word people than gesture people.
Brian storms out of the clam, drives home drunk, and turns an innocent kid into roadkill. Thankfully, the child in question was only a wooden baby Jesus.
Son of a bitch! Oh, crap. Why couldn't I have hit the court-ordered menorah instead?
However, Quahog is practically Whoville when it comes to loving Christmas. That means Brian's crime is actually 100 times more serious than running down a real child, so he gathers up the evidence in the trunk of his car and abandons it in the airport parking lot. The missing nativity scene becomes breaking news, and as the culprit won't come forward, Mayor Wild West officially cancels Christmas for everyone.
Sorry, Peter, I'm on strict orders from the mayor to confiscate all the Christmas stuff in town.
You heard him, Lois. Hand over the Hallmark Channel. Stewie, I'm so sorry, but you gotta understand the position I'm in.
Stewie's presents are on the line, so he snitches on his best friend without hesitation. Cops arrest Brian, an angry mob of Christmas lovers pelt him with rotten tomatoes, and the next day the scumbag is publicly guillotined at the town square. Ta! Just kidding. He did spend the night in jail, though, and it finally made him realize the true meaning of Christmas. Being with his family. Aww.
I've been so blind. Sure, Christmas is a commercial holiday largely intended to prop up a faltering economy, but it's also about family and the Hallmark Channel, which I admit I watch all the time. Oh my God, I love Christmas.
As we learned from that episode, Brian's fragile ego always pushes him toward alcoholism. Fortunately, Peter Hollick is always there to stop things from getting way out of hand.
Hey, Brian. Oh, sweet. Morning drinking. Whoa, yeah!
Brian has pretty delicate self-esteem, and being the most mistreated member of the family doesn't exactly make things any easier. Now, don't get me wrong, everyone's horrible to Meg. She gets told to kill herself, spat on, Peter farts right in her face.
Dad! Get away from me!
Oh, Peter's farts are coming to get you. Peter's farts are coming to get you. Here comes Peter's farts. They're coming to get you. Oh, in the kitchen, Meg.
However, the abuse Stewie inflicts on Brian is just 1,000 times more disgusting and sadistic than even Peter's cruelest atrocities against the family. Like, Meg's never been brutally beaten to this level.
Where's my money? Where's my money? Yeah, how much you pay for that fake mustache?
$2.99. Stewie, listen, this is crazy. You got, oh my God.
She's never had to watch her siblings be tortured and murdered.
Oh my God! Oh my God! What did you do? I killed him, Brian, and he's the lucky one. He went quickly. There were 9 dogs in that litter.
And most importantly, she's never, ever, ever been forced to eat a diaper full of poop.
It's done.
Got some dessert for you.
You gotta be kidding.
Ain't no amount of wine ever gonna wash away that aftertaste, Bri.
Oh, starting to feel that. I like hanging out with you.
He's still gonna try, though. That's a 1-liter bottle of wine, but we'll only add 750 milliliters to the counter because he shared it with Stewie. Oddly generous considering what the psycho just put him through, but anyway, who knew booze would give that kid so much rhythm?
Yeah, that is wow, that is awesome. I'm really impressed.
Ever since the day Craig Hoffman called her ugly,
Well, he's a sharp kid. You might be ugly.
and that store worker set herself on fire just to avoid looking at her,
If you need any, how do these jeans look?
Meg Griffin has been extremely insecure about her looks, to say the least. In Barely Legal, she comes home bawling because nobody will go with her to junior prom, not even her backup guy.
I heard you didn't have a date to the dance, and I was wondering if you'd like to go with me.
Oh, hang on. I'd love to go, Meg, but I have to go to my little brother's funeral that night.
Brian's a piece of garbage, but he still volunteers to take Meg to the dance. Granted, she'd gotten a knife and tried to off herself, but better late than never. Bastard didn't even try to fake a smile on prom night, though.
Brian, I present to you your polished turd for the evening.
How do I look, Brian?
You sure do, Meg.
FYI, the carpet matches the drapes in color and length.
Meg don't know how lucky she is not being able to understand Stewie. Brian arrives at the dance equipped with a flask of vodka and some weed Lois put in his coat pocket to numb the pain of being seen in public with Meg. At least she's enjoying herself, though. Well, she was until Brian got drunk.
Man, I gotta tell you, I can see why you'd be insecure, Meg. Some of these chicks are unbelievable.
You know, Meg, there's no dogs allowed here, so you're gonna have to leave, but Brian can stay.
Connie runs away in tears after Brian calls her a skank. That's typical behavior for this drunk dick, but even I didn't see this coming.
Sorry, that was the booze, not you.
It's funny how Meg being the ugliest girl alive is a running joke in the show, but she still gets laid more than her siblings.
What are you guys doing up so early?
What are we do? Where have you been?
Well, I certainly wasn't at the Shriners Convention.
It's barely morning, and he's already finished an entire bottle of whiskey. If that doesn't make him an alcoholic, I got no words for what's going on here.
Lois was right. I'm not a writer. I'm a joke.
Dude is drinking for 4 people at Oktoberfest. Movie theaters don't let you bring your own food and drink, so Peter either gave the manager the finger or hid this flask under his many rolls in Friends of Peter G.
Psst. Hey, Brian, you want a drink?
You snuck in liquor?
Yeah, loosens me up so I can talk to the people around me.
All right, I'll get in on that.
Hey, I already seen this movie. Let's talk about other movies we've seen.
That's an excellent idea. I like The Madness of King George.
Hey, shut up! Hey, I'm not the only one talking. That big guy up there on the screen's been talking through the whole movie. Hey, jerk! Hey, you keep it down!
The bozos are too drunk to realize everybody's complaining about them, so they go beat up the screen for making too much noise. That, of course, leads to them getting arrested and put on trial.
This court finds you guilty of creating a public disturbance and destruction of private property, and all of this while under the influence of alcohol. This court sentences you both to 30 days of Alcoholics Anonymous.
The next evening, Mr. Alcohol-y and his lord-ass owner attend their first AA meeting. Peter introduces himself with a little story of how alcohol has affected his life, or rather, taken the lives of others. Brian scoffs at the meeting and refuses to open up because he thinks AA is stupid. 29 sessions pass by, and while I'm sure he made a few snarky comments, Brian's been a relatively good boy so far. I was almost going to say he deserves a treat, but then this happened.
Hey, anyone in the house addicted to alcohol?
Hi.
Hello, Peter.
I enjoy alcohol.
Mr. Griffin, alcohol is forbidden at our meetings.
Brian and Peter encourage the group to start drinking again, and the AA meeting descends into a wild frat party for middle-aged rehab rebels and an 8-year-old booze hound. Looks like a party pooper is wheeled in to spoil the fun, though.
All right, everybody, you know what to do. Alcoholics, transform!
All right, what the hell's going on in here? We got a noise complaint.
Joe, shh. Peter's about to start.
We are gathered here again tonight, fellow AA members, to talk about the greatest temptation the devil ever created. Alcohol.
A Broadway-level performance convinces Joe that this is really an AA meeting, and once he wheels out of sight, the party continues. When it's over, all the alcoholics drive home drunk. I'm just glad Peter hurt himself for a change and not the deaf kid. Brian wasn't in the car because he was hooking up with a woman he met at the party, but how much beer did he drink? Peter and he initially walked in with 40 bottles, but later that night, a whole bar mysteriously appeared in the room. Brian was obviously wasted at the end of the meeting.
Peter, I'm gonna meet Jenny's cats.
What are you talking about? You hate cats.
I'm going to meet her cats.
He wasn't a totally blacked out vomiting mess though, so my guess is that he only drank about 3 bottles. That sounds lightweight for an AA party, but to be fair, he probably had to fight off 50 drunks to get them in the first place. While Brian didn't take AA seriously in The Fat Lotus, he actually got sober and became a manager at a beach resort. However, once the rudest guest ever checked in,
Please accept this complimentary seafood tower.
Great. Now, could you bring us another one that you haven't talked all over? And I'd say this is less a seafood tower than it is a seafood duplex.
he immediately went back to the bottle.
Yeah, fine, Stewie. Maybe we don't have Michael Clayton, but we got that Matt Damon fracking movie. It's basically the same thing.
I guess it's one thing to not get your kid vaccinated because you believe vaccines are dangerous or whatever, but not doing it out of sheer laziness is a completely different story entirely. I mean, what kind of terrible piece of garbage parent can be so fracking selfish and uncaring? The same one who throws scalding hot soup in their child's face.
Are you unloved? Do you feel like no one cares about you?
Meg, your mother made soup for you. Here you go, honey.
Well, you know who does love you? The Lord.
Here's your milk.
In Not All Dogs Go to Heaven, Meg has mumps because of Peter, and the ongoing abuse and lack of love from her family makes her turn to God. Once she's all better, she begins spreading the word of the Lord.
I've been washed in the blood of the Lamb. The Lord is my savior.
It's that damn religion channel. She was watching it all day while she was bedridden.
Now, everyone hold hands because we're going to say grace before we eat.
Dear Lord, please give me the cheat codes for Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I tried left, up, B, dodge, uppercut, but he still knocks me out.
Normally, people would just tell Meg to shut up, but she manages to convert her entire family and everyone else in Quahog to a more devout Christian lifestyle. Well, everyone in her family except for Brian. Brian has always been a devout atheist, and there's absolutely nothing Meg can do to make him change his mind. Although this cross did make a fantastic new chew toy.
Okay, I'll take Jesus back now.
Meg decides to expose Brian as the disgusting atheist he is. Now he's getting outcast by the entire town. Actually, maybe outcast is a slight understatement.
Local churchgoer and junior Christian soldier Meg Griffin has identified the atheist as Brian Griffin of Spooner Street. Here's the reaction from City Hall.
Shocking, to say the least. I'd rather have a terrorist living in our midst. At least they believe in a god, even if it's a smelly brown god.
Now that Brian is officially more evil than the German mustache guy who murdered millions, he can't leave the house without getting publicly shamed and is banned from every bar and liquor store in Quahog. What to do now? Make Chris pretend he's 45 and buy booze for him? Even Stewie couldn't come up with a plan more genius than that.
Yes, I'd like to buy some alcohol, please.
Okay, can I see your ID?
Oh, I don't have one.
You don't?
No, it's me, Chris.
Oh, hey, Chris.
Can I buy some alcohol?
No.
Oh, okay.
Desperate for a drink, Brian pretends to have seen the light, but Meg makes him join her in spreading the word of God. He's cool at that, though. I mean, he's got enough booze to black out and not remember anything by tomorrow morning.
Thanks for setting everyone straight, Meg. I feel the warm, healing liquid presence of God's genuine, cold-filtered grace.
Brian could just about stomach Meg being an annoying preacher. Burning books about evolution just wasn't okay, though, so he renounced religion and delivered some very, very brutal home truths to Meg.
If there were a God, would he have put you here on Earth with a flat chest and a fat ass?
I'm made in his image.
Really? Would he give you a smoking hot mom like Lois and then have you grow up looking like Peter?
Didn't hold back, did he? Poor Meg. Start a GoFundMe page for her. Girl needs all the therapy she can get. Well, Brian does love a good lap dance or two from his own species.
Tilt your head back and finish the card.
He's mainly into human chicks, and he's not out here getting catfished.
So, you're 27?
Well, that picture was, it was posted a couple years ago. So you're a golden retriever?
Or acting like a total douche.
I think you've had about enough.
Well, I think you're wrong, you increasingly attractive-looking woman. You're really pretty.
Oh, stop.
I'm serious. You could be in magazines. You could, and not just like Jugs or Creamsicle. Call me. She won't call.
He actually does better than most human guys in the love department. But for some reason, he always seems to end up with Harvard graduates.
You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you?
Well, sure I do. Opera's bitchin'.
Okay, maybe that was a bit mean. Jillian's a sweetheart, and not actually as dumb as people think. I mean, she was smart enough to dump a literal dog and get engaged to a human. Brian obviously pretended not to care about the wedding, but I don't even think he was fooling Jillian with all this whiskey.
Brian, I'm filling out my RSVP card, and I don't know whether I should get the salmon or the sausages.
And the worst thing is, he's not even a douche. He's a nice guy. I like him.
At the end of the day, we all know Jillian isn't the woman Brian truly desires. He's been dying to get his paws on his best friend's wife for 23 seasons.
What do you think's keeping Peter? I hope he gets here before they give you your award.
Well, you're here, Lois. That's enough for me.
Oh, you always know just what to say.
Lois is quite content with her specky blob, though, so Brian remains a lonely, depressed alcoholic in a world full of public displays of affection.
Two can be as bad as one. It's the loneliest number.
Brian got a DUI after that. Shocker, I know, but he'd prefer life in prison to life with a woman he married in the episode Married with Cancer. That one started with Brian going to a nightclub to find love. Now, I don't know if it was the douchey fedora or the fact that he's a literal dog, but none of the chicks are digging this mutt.
Ladies, how about the Verizon guy moving over to Sprint, huh? That seems kind of whack, right? Like zero chill.
I can't understand you. Does anyone here speak old, dude?
Is Bernie Sanders here bothering you?
It's crazy how Brian's even allowed in the club at 8 years old, but it makes sense because he's actually 56 in dog years. He's illegally older than Peter and literally had to buy alcohol for him that time. Drinking was banned for anyone under 50.
Let your dog at the bar. Hey, Jerome, one more. Neat.
What the hell?
Yeah, that episode was straight up weird, but we're not talking about that one, so back to the Married with Cancer one. Despite being 56, the night is still young for Brian. He manages to hook up with a woman named Jess at the bar.
Well, Jess, bottoms up.
If you're lucky.
So, this place, worse than Syria, don't you think?
Yes, everything about it is awful. Music. If you can call it music.
Oh my god, we were grumpy and bitter at the same time.
Jess reveals she has cancer and takes Brian back to her apartment to complete a bucket list of all the wild things that she wants to do before she dies. Maybe look away now. The adrenaline rush from having in front of literal children takes a serious toll on Jess's health. Now she only has 2 weeks left to live. She breaks down in tears about never marrying or having kids, so Brian asks for her hand in marriage just to make himself look good, basically.
I do. Yay! How about you, doggy? Samesies?
I do.
Yay again! Kiss!
Everyone, your attention, please.
Dr. Gravitas?
That's right. I want to give you two your first gift. These are your latest test results, Jess, and they're remarkable. Meaning what? Meaning Jess is going to live.
Getting married to a woman he doesn't even like that much is already bad enough, but now that Jess is cancer-free and her digestive system is working again, she eats like a pig and lets out 6 months worth of built-up farts.
Brian, did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Remember what the doctor said? Flatulence means my digestive system is working again.
Jess quickly gains 300 pounds and does Brian even more dirty by making him live in a shabby apartment with her 10 cats.
Brian, look!
Holy!
I know. My hair's growing back.
You look like a baby doll found in hurricane rubble.
Aw, I'm your baby doll.
Brian could just get a divorce, but if he ever left Jess, he'd probably get punched in the street every day for the rest of his life, which would only be like another 3 to 4 years, so honestly, maybe it's worth it. Luckily for Brian, Jess choked to death at a Mexican restaurant, and he was finally freed. Until she decided to rise from the dead.
I'm okay!
It's a miracle!
Brian could just sign divorce papers instead of bone like Snoopy, but he's still stuck in his miserable marriage in the next episode. This time he's desperate to escape Jess's farts, cats, and friends with obnoxious laughter, and he will literally fake his own death if that's what it takes.
I don't have bed bugs. I'm burning it down so I can fake my own death.
What?
I can't take it, Peter. I thought I could marry Jess, but it's awful.
Peter takes Brian to a bar where husbands hang out to cheer him up, but he only ends up becoming depressed and obese. Back home, he requires a constant supply of food and booze to numb his never-ending nightmare.
Fireball?
No, because I'm not a Skidmore freshman at a Lake George share house.
The unhealthy lifestyle causes Brian to develop hip dysplasia. The good news is that he can make a full recovery. All he needs to do is lose the weight. Poor doggo only gets fatter and fatter though, and now he can't even use the bathroom without assistance.
Jess really has been amazing. She even set up surgery for me to have my hip fixed. Oh, don't get fooled. I think I've really found true love.
Despite the fact that Brian looked after her when she was sick, Jess becomes fed up with being her fat husband's carer and literally decides to have him murdered instead of just signing some paperwork.
So, what's this? Kinda like a pre-op? Are all these dogs having hip surgery?
Where do you think you are? This isn't a doctor's office. This is the pound. You're being euthanized.
What? Jess is having me put down? My God, this can't be happening.
Did you also eat a kid?
So Brian can drive a car, run for mayor, and pay taxes, but he still has no legal right to his own life. Quahog is messed up, man. Once Peter learned that Jess was having Brian euthanized, he raced to the library to look up what the word meant, then got his fat ass to the pound just in time to save his buddy.
You want to make $200?
I do. It's beautiful.
What the hell are you doing here?
Brian, I can explain.
Explain what? How you brought me here to have me killed?
Jess died for real after that, but the months of farts and misery were all worth it in the end because Brian got to keep the coffee machine from her apartment. Booyah! That's a wrap to stage 1 of the Shameless Rex alcohol problems. Yes, I know it was a long stage, but it's not my fault Brian commits so much crime under the influence of alcohol. So far, this cocktail criminal's knocked back 30,035 milliliters of booze while causing chaos in Quahog. That's almost 8 gallons. Not even enough to get Peter a little tipsy. But just remember that Brian is a frackin' dog, and alcohol is literally poisonous to dogs. Seriously, you should have dropped dead from that very first martini. Brian's still going strong, though, and in this next episode to drink so much of the cocktail, I've literally decided to call him a martini maniac. And Brian sings and swings. Martinis turned Brian into a massive a-hole. And honestly, if Meg had done what he did, she would have been spit on and kicked out of the house permanently. It all started with Brian just trying to read the morning paper.
Magic Johnson down to 1 aid.
Oh, God, did I hit that deaf kid again?
Brian is now wheelchair bound and has to wear a vet collar. Could his life possibly get any worse? Of course. Nurse Peter's on shift 24/7.
Here, have some food.
I'm not hungry.
Brian makes a full recovery, but still has the doggy blues. At least he can drown his sorrows at the bar, though.
Oh, those are huge. Those are huge boobs. And you know what's nice? You don't have that blue vein up there that some of the bigger ones get. What?
Brian watches Frank Sinatra Jr. perform and becomes inspired to give life another go. Caught up in the moment, he joins the singer on stage without permission. You'd think a stunt like that would get him thrown out of the club by his collar, but even in the Family Guy universe, a singing dog is impossible to resist.
I'm also glad we met.
Yeah, you can't expect Brian not to do a little bragging after that amazing experience.
You actually got to sing with Frank Sinatra Jr.?
I gotta tell you, he said some things that were exactly what I needed to hear, and I was just inspired to get up on that stage.
Brian, don't you think it's a little too early to be hitting the booze?
Hey, what's the point of waiting? You gotta live life while you can and live it hard. No, the Chris Farley method, that's good.
Brian is invited to join Sinatra on stage again, but Lazy Lawless makes him babysit Stewie.
Stay here and be quiet. I'll be back after my first set. What the hell am I supposed to do to kill time?
Brian's always known Stewie's a huge musical theater geek, so really he can't get too mad at the little guy for jumping in on the action.
When I'm in Rhode Island.
Oh, easy, kid. These people paid good money to get in here.
Oh, yeah? How much are you charging them to get out?
Sinatra, Brian, and Stewie all team up to become the new Rat Pack. Despite the fact that Brian gets totally wrecked at every performance, this man-dog baby trio is surprisingly successful. Now that is a multi-day bender Peter would be proud of. Later that night, Brian returns home to an angry Lois and Peter. They're already pissed that he's late, and they ain't even heard the worst part yet. Brian has lost the frackin' baby.
He was right here, right next to me like 4 hours ago.
What? Oh, my little sweetie.
Hey, Brian, remember me? I'm the guy you left standing at the counter at McDonald's with a bag full of burgers. You know, it's funny. I tried to walk home, and a lot of hungry deer walking around at this hour of the night. Oh, here's where the story gets fun. You may have noticed I'm missing an ear.
Brian, this is inexcusable.
Yeah, what if something had happened to Stewie?
My ear's in a cup. I guess that doesn't count.
I mean, considering all the bears and Herberts lurking around at night, Stewie getting mauled by Bambi was actually the best case scenario. Peter vows to call Frank Sinatra Jr.'s mom and put a stop to any more performances, but Brian savagely attacks him for interfering with his life, and let's be honest, probably everything.
What the hell is happening to you?
Yeah, don't worry. I don't need to go to the hospital or anything. I'll just use this Mr. Potato Head piece.
Brian feels so guilty about attacking Peter that he doesn't show up to the next performance. The baby ventures out into the dangerous night to find him, but there's no hungry deer out tonight, just a super depressed dog sulking in the gutter.
How cliché. I don't know what went wrong. I was just trying to live for the moment, you know? You know, Brian, as smart as you are, you've got to accept the fact that there are some things in life that you just can't control.
Stewie tells his drunken mess of a dog that he matters to someone and runs away in tears. But that was exactly what Brian needed to hear to get his spark back.
Yesterday had got me feeling kind of blue. So you left and we replaced you with a Jew. Lady, you're
you're fired. Oi!
For all she's been put through, Meg would really benefit from some kind of therapy. She'll never be worthy of Peter's money, though. The family dog, however? Yeah, Peter will literally send him to the most expensive psychiatrist in town.
Wanna know how pathetic my life is? I've seen that Behind the Music with Leif Garrett 18 times.
Hey, Leif, it's been a while.
Too long, man. I'm so sorry about everything, man. I'm so...
In the thin white line, Brian's doctor suggests he get out of the house and do some volunteering in the community. He tries his paw at guide dog work and animal therapy at the old folks' home, but eventually teams up with Joe as the force's newest sniffer dog. A job interview wasn't even necessary. The doggo's nose spoke for itself.
You're back from Manila. You had lumpia for dinner. Then you made love to 2 Filipino women. And a man.
You mean 3 Filipino women? No!
Quagmire working as a pilot is actually so scary when you think about it. Like, imagine if a pretty air hostess entered his cockpit. There's no way he'd be able to fly the aircraft safely. Anyway, on his first day, Brian catches a dirtbag trying to smuggle coke through customs, but later ends up becoming addicted to the stuff himself.
Open it! Yeah, let me go! Help! Help! All right, where's the stash? I'll do a freaking body cavity search, I swear!
Sir, we apologize. Griffin, there's no easy way to say this. I think you have a drug problem.
A drug problem? What's this really about? Jealousy? Am I stealing your thunder, Joe? Is that it?
Give me your badge.
Fine.
Getting fired only made Brian's addiction worse, and he eventually became a full-blown cokehead. The family grew tired of being constantly insulted and staged an intervention to send him to rehab, even though Mr. Peter Bad Influence Griffin was in the facility 24/7.
Trade you this for your cupcake. What? It was just carpet fresh. I'm on your side.
I've been observing your behavior, and I don't think you're an addict. I think you're an idiot.
Brian finally got clean, only to fall right back into a more socially acceptable addiction, alcohol.
Brian, I feel a little guilty. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have been exposed to that junk.
Hey, Joe, if I've learned anything from my experience, it's that we're all responsible for our own destiny.
He never actually got over that coke problem, though.
Hey, can robots do cocaine? What? Nothing, I was just, Can they get cocaine?
Brian clearly loves his martinis as much as his coke, but did you know he loves the cocktail this much?
Here's your martini, ma'am.
Thanks. Hey, it's gone.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. Here's another one.
What the hell is going on here?
Hi, can I get some pretzels or something? I gotta drive. Whoa, hey, did you bring enough breasts for the rest of the class?
Yep, dude literally used super speed to steal free martinis from the bar. Kind of ironic, actually. Anyway, Brian's martini drinking don't stop there. This maniac got wasted with a frackin' baby and Stewie be good.
Thanks, Horace.
Hey, is he 18?
Horace, the drinking age is 21.
Oh.
Okay, to the black man, thanks for taking it all in stride.
Mr. Martini Holic here actually drank 20 more glasses after that, because how else did he fill this doggy bag with so many olives?
I can't believe you saved all those. Lois. You think Lois will like these?
You love Lois.
Shut up.
Brian literally chugged back 5 liters of his favorite cocktail in one night, but that sounds a lot less insane when you compare it to this.
This was the scene at the Drunken Clam last night as a car driven by an intoxicated infant caused thousands of dollars worth of damage.
Put this on my tab.
It was like all slowed down, and I was like, whoa, but I couldn't stop it.
This last clip isn't even Brian behaving like a martini maniac, he's just being a straight up moonshine maniac.
I'm lost in the woods, drunk on moonshine. I guess the only thing to do is watch Alex Jones videos at full volume on my phone.
I know this section's supposed to be about Brian's unhinged obsession with martinis, but since I've already brought up moonshine, let me tell you about the time he downed an extra gallon of it. In To Love and Die Dixie, Chris turns a criminal in for a robbery, but he escapes jail and vows to get revenge.
Sir, do you have any plans now that you're out of jail?
Yeah, I'm gonna go bang my girlfriend, and then I'm gonna kill Chris Griffin.
Good Lord!
The Griffins are placed under witness protection and relocated to the Deep South. But honestly, dealing with that guy or even just letting Chris be murdered is better than living in Bumble scum.
Ah, what's that smell?
It's either bad meat or good cheese.
Mom, Chris found a jar in the basement and it has a hand in it.
I'm gonna plant it. Well, at least the TV gets decent reception. Huh, must be some kind of nature show. Help! Get off! Get off!
The Griffin's 2x4 shack was already a pile of trash, and thanks to Peter and Brian goofing around, now it's even more of a dump.
Kids, where's your father?
Geez, Stewie was like an inch away from getting crushed. Not that Peter's car is any match for his indestructible head, though. Peter and Brian look for jobs to start providing for the family. Now, despite the fact that Peter always chokes in job interviews...
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Don't say doing your wife. Don't say doing your wife. Don't say doing your wife. Doing your... son?
They both land jobs as town sheriffs. Believe it or not, sitting on their lazy asses and drinking booze all day was actually in the job description.
Boy, it's so quiet around here.
I know.
The phone hasn't rang all day.
I know. There's nothing to oh boy, what's the word I'm looking for? Do.
Brian, you're drunk. You're drunk. Give me your keys.
Brian weighs about the same as Peter's arm, so to get as drunk as him, he probably only drank that 1-gallon bottle he's holding while Greedy Peter downed the rest. After the bad guy who came after Chris was shot dead, the Griffins returned to Quahog, but it's a shame Stewie didn't get to keep his banjo. You know how talented the little guy can be when it comes to music.
And you should have seen her, twice as tall as me, 3 times the girl. Oh, my fat baby loves to eat.
Okay guys, this martini maniac has chugged 51,605 milliliters of literal poison so far. That's enough martinis to black out an entire bachelor party, and we ain't even covered the final chapter of the Drunken Dog Diaries. You ever heard of Oompa Loompas? Well, Brian's about to become an Oompa Boozer as he helps his pal Peter polish off enough booze to send him to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Well, the Pawtucket Brewery, but that doesn't sound as magical. In the episode of Wasted Talent, Brian is hanging out at the clan with Peter's friends, and honestly, I feel like he orders a martini just to be different.
Guys, check it out. Quagmire's trying to get lucky.
Hey, gorgeous, you want to come home with me?
I'm with my husband.
Lose a zero, get with a hero.
Breaking news announces that Pawtucket Brewery's placed 4 silver scrolls and 4 packets of random beers, and whoever's lucky enough to find one gets a tour of the factory and a lifetime supply of beer. This episode is basically a booze version of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and I think you all know who Augustus Gloop is.
Go, 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 go!
Nothing.
Peter, it's 7 in the morning.
Thanks for the update, Big Ben.
Peter was desperate to win, so there's no way he didn't allow or outright force Brian to chug down those beers with him. Plus, Snoopy clearly looks out of it. There was a mountain of around 500 empty beer bottles here. I'm certain the king of booze down most of them, but Brian could have handled 50 bottles if they were up all night drinking. And in case you were wondering, Peter finally did get his hands on that scroll.
He found it!
Oh my God! Run home, Peter! Run as fast as you can!
But when one good thing happens to this guy, at least 2 more bad things have to cancel it out. It's the 6th fundamental law of physics.
Ah! Ah! Ah!
Go!
Ah! Ah! Ah!
Peter's knee took a kick in, but Brian's health is doing so much worse. This little doggy has consumed a total of 76,855 milliliters of alcohol throughout the show. That's a whole fish tank of poison, and specifically 44 liters of beer, 11 liters of martinis, 2.5 liters of straight vodka, 2.25 liters of whiskey, 1.75 liters of wine, and 2 whole gallons of good old moonshine. But how long has Brian been guzzling the good stuff? Well, according to the show's old lore, Peter first met him back when he was an alcoholic car cleaning stray.
No thank you. I just had it cleaned. No, jeez.
All set, sir.
I don't have any change. Sorry.
Oh, well, that's okay.
Now he's just a regular alcoholic dog. Brian's currently 8, but he's probably been drinking alcohol since the age of like 3 or 21 in dog years, and we know he's always got a 250 milliliter flask on him. Assuming he refills it every day, which he definitely does, he's drunk an extra 420,000 milliliters on top of all the other booze. That brings Brian's new grand total to 496,855 milliliters. Forget a fish tank, that's a whole ass hot top of poison this doggo's consumed and somehow lived to tell the tale. If that ain't enough for PETA to assassinate Peter for animal neglect, I'll be doing it myself. Curious what bad deeds that the characters have gotten up to lately? Click the screen to find out. Thanks for watching.